Hi, I welcome you to this video on how to approach reasoning and quants module in NMIMS NPAT exam. In today's video, we are going to look into the pattern of the paper, the syllabus covered, and what are all the topics covered with respect to these two sections, and what are the weightage assigned to the topics. And we are also going to look into some of the previous year questions to understand what is expected out of the candidate in the paper. So I'm going to start with the pattern first. In these two sections, that is logical reasoning and data interpretation, will be one section, and quantitative aptitude will be another section. In each section, a total of 40 questions will be in the paper. And regarding the marking scheme, each question is awarded 1 mark for a right answer, and there will be no negative marking for the wrong answer. Moving into logical reasoning and data interpretation. So these are the topics which has to be covered for the paper, and among the given topics, the first three topics plays a major role, from which 20 to 22 questions are expected in the exam. First, it will be data interpretation. Data interpretation is where you will get data in the form of pie chart, bar diagram, line chart, and each and every chart will be followed by 4 to 5 questions. And what are the inference made from this chart? Based on the inferences, these questions has to be answered. And the questions from data interpretation will be of three types. One will be average based questions, the other will be ratio based questions, and the third one will be percentage based questions. And moving to passage based reasoning, a passage will be given. So based on what we understand from the passage, we have to answer the questions that follows the passage. Passage will be normally followed by 4 to 5 questions. And in syllogism, we have statements and conclusion. 3 to 4 statements will be given, followed by 3 to 4 conclusions will be given, and which conclusion can be logically deduced from the given statement has to be identified. So some of the statements may differ from the commonly known facts, but we should consider that it is correct, and we should deduce the conclusions. We have to check for the conclusions whether it follows logically or not. What I mean by the statement is that if a statement says that some dogs or cats, so that is not possible. This differ from the commonly known facts. Although it differ from the commonly known facts, it should be considered true, and hence the conclusion has to be checked. Okay. And from the remaining topics, we can expect two type of questions. One will be direct straightforward questions from the concepts, and other will be coded type, where instructions will be given, and based on the instructions, coding has to be done, and then concepts has to be applied to get down to the answer. So what I mean here, we are going to understand one such type of questions from the previous year question. And this question is from the previous year paper, is based on inequalities. Instructions has been given, so based on the instructions, coding has to be done, then you have to check for the conclusions. Here a asterisk b means a is not smaller than, so a can be greater than or equal to b, and a at means a is neither smaller nor equal to, so a is greater than b. A percentage means a is neither greater nor equal to, so a is less than b. A dollar b means a is neither smaller nor greater, so a is equal to b. And a and b means a is not greater than b, so a can be less than or equal to b. So these are the inference that can be made, and the same code has to be applied for statements and conclusions as well. So percentage, so p percentage r means p is less than r, and q dollar s means q is equal to s, and r asterisk q means r is greater than or equal to q, and s and t means s is less than or equal to t. So combining these inequalities together, I can write it as p less than r, greater than or equal to q, and q is equal to s, and s is less than or equal to t. Again, I'm going to apply the same codes for the conclusions as well. So s and r means s is less than or equal to r, and p at s means p is less than s, and t asterisk q means t is greater than or equal to q. So I'm going to check for the conclusions. in the given statement. So S is less than or equal to R. So can I say that S is less than or equal to R? Yes, of course, because S is equal to Q. If Q is less than or equal to R, then S will be less than or equal to R. So first conclusion follows. P at S means P is less than S. No common symbols has been given here. So this conclusion is not valid. And we are checking with the third conclusion. T is greater than or equal to Q. Of course, Q and S are equal. So if T is greater than or equal to S, it will be greater than or equal to Q as well. So conclusion 3 follows. So answer for this question will be 1 and 3 follows. See, the reason for pointing out this question is to make you understand what type of questions and what has to be done and how we should prepare oneself to approach the paper can be understood. So moving on to the next section. So the next will be quantitative aptitude. Here the topics can be grouped into 4 modules, and majority of the questions will be from these 2 modules, where 60 to 65 percentage of the questions will be dealt with. Okay, and the complexity level of the questions, it is of 10th standard level. One of the previous year question has been pointed out here to understand the complexity level of the question. Here a bias coin is such that the probability of getting head is thrice the probability of getting a tail. If the coin is tossed 4 times, what will be the probability of getting head all the times is the question. So here when you are talking about coins, there can be 2 possible cases. One, it is unbiased, the next will be biased. So unbiased, the probability will be equally distributed. So the probability of head will be 1 by 2 and the probability of tail will also be 1 by 2. Whereas biased condition, biased coins, the probability is given. The conditions will be given. The probability of getting it is thrice the probability of getting a tail. So if I say the probability of getting a tail is t, then the probability of getting a head will be 3 times of t. So a total of how many cases are there? Total of 40 cases are there. So in this probability of head will be 3t divided by 40, which will be 3 by 4. And probability of tail will be t divided by 40, which will be 1 by 4. So what is being asked? The coin is tossed 4 times. So we have 4 coins. So what is being asked? What will be the probability of getting a head all the time? So I should have head in all the coins. There is only one possible case. So probability of getting a head in a coin is given, which is 3 by 4 into 3 by 4 into 3 by 4 into 3 by 4, which is 3 raised to the power 4 and 4 raised to the power 4. So 3 raised to the power 4 will be 81 and 4 raised to the power 4 it will be 256. So the answer for this question is 81 by 256. And that's all about quants and reasoning section for NPAT paper. And the number of good attempts in each section will be, for reasoning it is 33 plus, and for quants it will be 28 plus will be good number of attempts. So what one should do, how one should prepare: first one should understand the syllabus and go through the previous year papers to get the idea of what is expected of the candidate in the paper. So once that is done, prepare a schedule, work on the schedule, assess yourself and improve on. So that's all for the video, and more videos will be uploaded in due course. Please subscribe to GradSquare YouTube channel for further updates. For any further doubts and clarification, feel free to contact us on 9282 442221. Thank you.